need all that. Yeah. Yeah. Look, bustin', I'm going off. Fake acting, you a know it all. Paying taxes, I been a boss. Real soft, you been a fraud. Hublating these words deep. In the mood and I can't sleep. Need a beat, I'm taxing. No vacate, no relaxing.
What's up, everybody? It's Desiree Parker here. That's at Let's Be Desi on Instagram. I got my guy Josh Gray over here. We're linking up. Welcome to LA, man. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where you're from? Because right now we're here in Burbank, Los Angeles County. And you came down all the way from where?
Originally from New Orleans, but I've been out in Houston lately.
So you're living
Getting
in Houston.
into that, that property game.
Nice.
Definitely.
Wait, so you live in Houston now?
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Okay, cool. Everybody's in Houston now. Okay, and were you in the Bay before? Last time we talked, I think you lived in the Bay Area.
Moving a lot, right?
Yeah. Taking over the whole,
Houston, and now back out in LA, kicking it with you. But yeah, I've been in Houston, I'll say about a year now. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Make some big steps since
Yeah,
last time we spoke. And we'll talk about all that. We're gonna go over everything today about last time, how far you came from then to now. We want to talk about your new music.
Definitely.
We want to talk about your goals, what you're doing personally. Yeah, we got a lot in store for you guys.
Let's get it.
So starting with music, I really want to touch on, because last time we spoke, I don't even think you had an album out at the time.
No, it was just a bunch of mixtapes, and then that was even before COVID, the last time we sat down and talked. We put out a playlist called Diluted. It was like 10 songs of not like a cohesive project, but just, a bunch of songs we really felt good about. We put them together on one solid playlist and then released it on like streaming platforms. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so can you walk us through everything that's happened from that mixtape to this album here, IRO?
Definitely. So initially, right after that, I was in like heavy producer mode where I was like trying to really get my name off as a producer. Mm-hmm. And then that was like right when COVID started, like before people actually had a name for it, but a lot of people started to get sick and they're like, what's going on? And then I think maybe like in that 2-month time frame, it started to develop into what we now know is COVID, right? Everything shut down. Creating music became more difficult because nobody wanted to really, be in close contact, you know what I mean? So many canceled studio sessions because engineers are like, yo, I'm good, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I kind of went into do-it-yourself mode where I'll be home, and by the way, since the last time we talked, I have a daughter now, right?
Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. But I would just be like at home with her, basically like homeschooling her half the time, and then the other half of the time, like really digging in, working on music completely by myself, right?
Right.
Like completely isolated, weird time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it helped me to create some really solid music because like I had to fully rely on just myself. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and I want to ask that too. So how do you think that the pandemic and like being away from everybody played an effect in this album in particular? How is this music going to be different from your other music because of that?
I would say, so the project that I did create, while like, COVID was it's still a big thing, right? But while I would say like the numbers were higher, mm-hmm. I created a project called IRO, which is Internalized Racial Oppression. And I came up with the name because, racism obviously is still alive, but I wanted to touch on how a lot of the times we feed into that connotation ourselves, and we kind of hold ourselves back as well mm-hmm. by feeding into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, of course you can't ignore it, and it's everywhere around you, but, I'm like always looking for the solution. How can I beat how can I rise above whatever restraints? So that's how that started. And then I just started creating, like I produce everything myself. I started making beats that kind of had that, I would say that platform to really explain not only how I felt at the moment, but also like what's going on in the world around me, which was COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a weird time. Like most of like the normal people I would kick it with, I would just be talking with them on the phone instead of actually go and see them in person, right?
Yeah.
So that was weird. Family members, you know what I mean, that I would check up on and go see and things like that. We would be on like Zoom or like,
Right.
FaceTime or something.
You said something I want to hear a little bit more about. You were talking about like with the whole racism thing and how with this album you want to talk about like overcoming that. What ways do you think that like, you being a leader, what advice would you give to the youth and just to the community in general about that, what you said about overcoming it?
Well, it's a tough thing, and I don't want to get too political on it, but I'm not afraid to say certain stuff. Like, for example, Sha'Carri, right? Her whole situation with the Olympics and things like that. I feel like, of course, the color of her skin kind of restricted how her situation could have played out more in her favor, right?
Right.
Whereas, unfortunately, if she was another race, it might have went, more beneficially for her.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, it's that has happened to us so much in history where we're super talented, we're really creative, we really stand out in a certain area, and there's something that has to pull us back and I don't know, it almost feels like they're like, oh no, you're too great, we're gonna humble you.
Okay.
And it's like, you know what I mean? That happens a lot.
How do we overcome that?
I would say by just continuing to push. You know what I mean? I know I brought up the Sha'Carri thing. I bet Sha'Carri's still training. She's still working hard, and that's the same model everybody should follow. You get knocked back or knocked down, man, get up, keep at it. You know what I mean? I know me, for example, I've come into so many brick walls that I have to break down or try to find a way around. There's no way around, so I have to find a way over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna stop me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody should try to embody that, whatever you're doing. If you're a chef, and I mean, cooking school not working out, find a way around it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or whatever you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?